The way women are now encouraged to not work and just find a rich man to provide for them is so insane. It's even more insane seeing women from South Asian backgrounds fall for this stupidity.
Never submit to a patriarchal society.
In the long run, nice guys are the ones who know how to maintain long-term relationships.
Have some fun, meet up with a friend of ours, and maybe find some attractive men. No. If you know of where all the attractive men are, can you please let me know?
Feminine energy this, masculine energy that. It's just patriarchy rebranded, babe. Like, get a grip. So I met with someone today and we basically talked about how the mindset that our parents' generation grew up with is making a comeback with absolute vengeance. Like, the way women are now encouraged to not work and just find a rich man to provide for them is so insane to me. And it's even more insane seeing women from South Asian backgrounds fall for this stupidity. As in, we come from a culture where this is the norm, where women are not encouraged to work, they're not encouraged to be independent, they get married and they stop working and they become, stay-at-home wives, stay-at-home mums, and that's their life. I think every single one of us can look into our own network, whether it be family or friends, and know a woman who's had to endure a horrific marriage because she cannot financially afford to leave. I myself know women whose husbands are chronic cheaters and they can't leave because they're financially bound. Women whose husbands have beaten them black and blue, but they can't leave because they are financially bound. And so it's so bizarre to me that we come from this culture and we are suddenly romanticizing the same thing, but it's rebranded as being a feminine woman and finding a provider. Like, are you okay? And one of
You know what's happening? Because she made it seem like that's all the women in the world are going through that. Look, that's a small handful. And it's wrong, but come on now. Stop it. What happened is we got away from how it used to be and everything turned to crap. You don't see it because it doesn't affect you. Guess who it affects? Us, the men. All of the garbage women here, right? Like you, for instance. I'll be honest. You look okay. You will make some beautiful babies. You probably are not looking to have babies until what? You're 35. Why do they all do that? She's gonna decide then, oh, I need to have some children when it's too late, right? Like, what are you thinking? I understand you want to be independent. Have the children first. If you want to be independent, it's no excuse. I saw a lady, she did it the old school way first, had her children early, which is safe to do, then was a career woman after. I totally agree with that. I support that. She did it right. But you see it as weakness. That's no good.
One of the craziest things about this entire thing is the women who sit and preach about becoming feminine and finding a high value man and attracting wealthy men and making them pay for everything are women who have businesses based on this brand. Like, they are making millions off your stupidity through selling you courses and coaching sessions and all this nonsense. Like, get a grip. You think they sit at home? You think they wait for their man to provide for them? No, these are business women. Okay, and what I'm not preaching is to chase men who have no money and will not help you out financially. No, but do not abandon yourself in the pursuit of wealthy men. Don't dress a particular way to impress a man. Don't pick up certain hobbies or hang out in certain cafes or present a particular way. Do your hair how you want to do your hair. Wear what you want to wear. Do the hobbies that you want to do, not for the sake of a man, bro. You should be audacious in yourself, audacious in your ambitions. Your dreams should scare you. And you should get a kick out of that. Don't ever dim yourself or change yourself to fit what you think a particular man would want. That's silly. Your youth is with you once. Do not waste that in the pursuit of silly men. The reason I bring this up and the reason it relates to my sort of journey of self-actualization is because I found myself questioning everything I did. Like, is this something a feminine woman would do? Is this something a man, a high-value man would want me to do? Girl, just live. Just live. Your purpose is to live, not to find a high-value man. That should be the least of your concerns, girl.
Well, as far as the high value man culture, I agree with you in that part. But as far as forgetting everything, see, they can't find a happy medium. That's the issue.
I have accidentally ended up on feminist TikTok. Ladies, I fear we're in enemy territory. But in the interest of remaining true to oneself, I will not be waving the white flag. Instead, let's have a conversation that none of you are ready for. Let's talk about how somehow women have been convinced that showing more and wearing less and over-sexualizing themselves is some form of empowerment. The I dress like this for me crowd. We've grown up in a society shaped by patriarchal values, where a woman's desirability has always been treated as her most valuable asset. Whole life that your worth increases with your sexual appeal. It's not surprising that many have internalized the idea that feeling confident means feeling looked at or wanted or lusted at. It's her that attention, and she receives the validation, the likes, the stares, the compliments. It activates the brain's reward center. Dopamine hits and you get a temporary self-esteem boost, but that good feeling is not empowerment. It is a reaction to social approval that has been conditioned over time. It is a learned behavior because today's society applauds women who reveal more of themselves and label them as liberated, but are being subtly manipulated into believing that giving the world access to their bodies is a choice that they came up with on their own. When in reality, it's what the patriarchal system has always wanted from them. This is not about judgment. This is about waking up to the fact that real empowerment isn't about how many eyes are free from the need to perform for a culture that profits off of your exposure. Modest, you don't get to define me, I define myself. The patriarchy didn't die, it just rebranded. Now its control is freedom and its exploitation is confidence. And they've taken their power back or actually handing it over willingly. One outfit at a time.
Sure are. It's not just the outfits. You're all debt slaves now. It was started after, I think after World War II, right? The women went to work. They needed debt slaves. All the men were away. So then, after men came back from war, they said, how do we keep women on it? Feminism. You're independent now. You don't need a man. Women's rights. That came later, but still. Now we have this now. Now this is a feminine woman, probably most likely married. Ladies, this is the answer. Because this is what happens after that when you get older.
Resonates with me, but this essay by Rachel Drucker that appeared in this past weekend's Modern Love column in the New York Times really did. The first premise is that men have retreated both from dating and intimacy, but even from socializing entirely. And to be honest, that's the experience that I've observed since I got back on the dating scene after a relationship I was in ended abruptly and badly a year ago. The essay opens with one of Drucker's observations. She was in downtown Chicago and walking around on a beautiful summer night and noticed that there were tables of women who were engaged in festive celebration. There were even women out by themselves. Very few people appeared to be on dates, and there were very few men present. When it comes to dating, Drucker observes that men seem to be content to go back and forth with emojis and trading pictures and liking Instagram posts instead of actually going out on a face-to-face date. Lack of physical contact even has Drucker longing for the days of a hookup. A lot of this was accurate. My experience on the apps has been very similar, with endless texting and exchanges of photos and how was your day, and never getting together in person. And I've tried to meet new people organically by going to meetup groups like hikes or dinners. And
This lady is in her 50s, by the way. And this is where she's at. She's in her 50s.
And I also started playing pickleball. And most of those activities are about 70 to 80% women. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm engaging in these activities because I enjoy them and not just to meet a guy. But it is nice to have a mix of genders in a social setting. It just brings more energy.
Those days are over.
I think in different perspectives. It's disappointing to go out to these activities and have them be so heavily dominated by one gender. Especially for someone like me who's been accustomed to having guy friends. I have at least a half dozen good male friends, maybe more, from different parts of my life, and it would be nice to meet some new ones in addition to meeting new women friends. If you haven't seen this article, take a look at it. It's an interesting perspective, and I'd love to hear your views on whether you agree or not and whether it reflects your experience.
Look at that. She's 50 now and trying to get in another relationship. Do you think she may have been an independent woman or looked at being feminine as weakness. She's one of the ones that started it. Watch this.
This is such an interesting comment because you are conflating two different types of bioessentialism. One that's like very rooted in like hard science, Ben Shapiro, don't care about your feelings bullshit. And then the other is based in like the woo-woo mysticism of masculine and feminine energies, and it isn't based in science, and it's based on vibes and feelings and all of that kind of thing. And you're conflating the two and mishmashing them together. Like, whilst they seem like the opposite of each other, they're actually two sides of the same coin. Like, you can't physically prove masculine and feminine energy. If you're referring to like perhaps like, oh, hormones like testosterone and estrogen and that's energy, that's actually hormones. That's actually hormones, not energies, because I want you to actually pinpoint what is the scientific proof of these energies, not hormones, not different types of bodies, not things like that, because that's science that you're claiming, that's scientific fact, and you're referring to energies. What energies? What energies, babe? And also, for the record, I'm not a uni student. I actually graduated a couple of years ago. So, I'm just like this approaching my mid-20s, so yeah.
What does she do? She's arguing, highlighting her degree. I'm smarter than you. This is why, and I talk about this a lot. This is why I have my program and I keep it so inexpensive, right? Because I show guys where the money's at. These ladies, they get their degrees and then they go and get a job where they make $70,000. I show a guy how he can make probably double that. No exaggeration. And I do it for under $125. Look at you. See what she just did? Hey, that's my. Look at her shoulder. She doing a shoulder roll. Like she hot stuff. Poison. Look what happens after that.
Honey, please come on. I'm outside and I'm getting tired of being out here. It's weird out here. You need to come on and find me so that we both can go inside. This man with skinny legs and parrot-toe feet just tried to talk to me. And he was bald-headed. Nothing against bald-headed men. Love y'all. Honey, please come on. It's weird. It's getting really weird out here. And you leaving me out here unprotected. Please. We have to talk about this later too, because you've been taking your precious time. We have to discuss that. I don't like that. Please come on. Come on.
Feeny. She made sure she looked good to get in the video too. Put all the fake up on, cake up, all that cake up. She put on. Trying to get a man. She put on. She caked up. So let me cake it. She said, no, I need flour. I need extra flour. Wait, put some cinnamon on there. We gotta make it crispy. Put some cinnamon on the flour. We gotta, for my complexion, gotta make like a dark rosy tone. This is what happens. They start like how the other lady was and end up like this. Sad.
By the way, ladies, there is absolutely nothing peaceful about being a woman. It is chaotic at nature. If you think about Mother Nature and how catastrophic she can be with earthquakes and all tsunamis and all these different things to reset, replenish, and restore herself because of the environment and us as humans and what we do to the earth, and that she needs to do that. The same thing as you as a woman. If you need to shout, if you need to scream, if you need to get your mind and your voice out, never submit to a patriarchal society that wonder you stayed single tells you that you as a woman need to be quiet, need to be silent, because you're meant to be peaceful and this damsel in distress. So much complexities that come with being a woman. Our 28-day hormone cycle says it in itself. We so deeply complex, and how we move and how we flow as women come in so many different forms. So confining to this like victim needing to be saved mindset doesn't allow you to evolve as a woman. It doesn't allow you to actually truly use your talents, and that comes within the chaos. It comes within the knowing and using what it is that's called wild or ghetto or loud and all these different things that especially black women get called in the workspaces because we're told to perform all the time. So I don't know how many people need to hear this, especially women. And I think we need to go within the patriarchy and relearn and reteach women to change it from the inside out. So younger women, younger girls growing up can constantly use their voice, whether it's not plastered in a beautiful bow with a rose on top of it and tied with mud. Let it be filled with tears and chaos, because that is exactly what it means to be a woman.
With tears and chaos. That's not good. You just said what we already know. You said it's filled with tears and chaos. Look, Mother Nature, chaos. No softness. How can I say? No structure, no logic, chaos. That's what you love, right? Let's go back to the beginning. Who brought sin into the world? Chaos. I say, of course, Satan did, but who listened to him? These things happen, and it wasn't that long ago, right? You, not you per se, but you get what I'm saying. You guys know what I mean. That's not real femininity. What happened after that is real femininity. When he said, listen to your man, take instruction from him. Look, I'm not a part of the patriarchy. So you're saying, I don't want to say that. Let me not say that. I can't put the man upstairs name involved with that. Yeah, but that's what you would be saying, though. Stop it. This is not okay. That look you got on your face right now, that crazy look, you think you hit something, but you hit nothing. You hit nothing because only thing that happens is this.
But, you know, when you're 30 years old and you're single and you're like trying to put yourself out there and your friends are all married and they're like, oh, let's go to the D-backs game, and you're like sick, and then you think like it's going to be a night out, and then they're like 7th inning in and they're like, yeah, let's go get some ice cream after this. And I'm like, oh. We have really different vibes of like what the night is going to look like. So then you're like scouring for friends that are potentially out in the same area that you are. So that
she's alone. She was with the friends today.
New people. Because
that happened
God
today.
knows that when you're with your married friends, you don't really meet a lot of new people. And God love them. Like, I don't blame them. Like, I want to go home and eat too. But
she's feeling it. Look at that.
Texted a friend and I was like, you're out, right? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, can I meet you? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, I'll be waiting. Like, I'm a pathetic loser, but here I am, putting my best foot forward, trying to just like do things as a single woman and not like go home and like cry myself to sleep. So we all know the feeling, right?
Feeling it.
Basically, I'll let you know how the night goes and if it was worth it. I don't know if it's gonna be worth it, but we're trying. We're trying.
She's begging. I need some. I'm happy. I'm happy. Her friends, like this situation, like some of these white women, because I can't lie. Not a lot, but some of them, right? They do it right. And she has a friend group where all of them are doing it right. Why didn't you follow? I'm sure you've seen what they were doing. Oh, you strayed the other way. But I'm happy you ended up with that as your friends, because you see now. You messed up. You're feeling it. This is Shang Shame, right? Shang
which means leftover women.
She's feeling it. Shang That's what your friend said to you without saying it. Shang I'm going to eat ice cream. Shang Shang I feel it. I need to meet new friends. That's sad. What do you look like right now? You look like a 3 or 4, to be honest with you. Seriously, I'm sorry. You look sad and you feel lonely, and you need to go home, gather yourself, hit the gym, and don't hit the gym to go out at night. Hit the gym to focus on yourself. Like how this is what men do. See, men do that. Like while a lot of men are being alone right now and waiting until they take their next trip overseas, right? They're hitting the gym. They're working. They're working on themselves, working on the career that they're pursuing. Many different things. That's what you need to do. You do. You need to do that. You need to talk with some of your married friends. use them to your advantage if you were smart. She's never gonna learn. I'm telling you, that's what I'll be doing, but she's never gonna learn.
Free time. So, good friend of mine and I went on a girls' trip over the weekend. We drove 3 hours south, went to Charleston for the weekend. We're like, okay, let's just get away, just have some fun, meet up with a friend of ours, and maybe find some attractive men. No. No. None.
Absolutely nothing.
I'm
old,
starting to wonder where they are. Like, where? I need you. I went to Vegas back in July. I saw maybe one attractive man, and he was mediocre attractive. It wasn't even like, wow, he's really hot. Even I was there with like family, and even the male members of my family were like, there's really no attractive men. No.
So you're requesting attractive men and you're wearing makeup. Like, it boggles my mind. All of them that say that, she's average at best. Asking for men that are tens.
So anyway, back to Charleston. We go to Charleston. Nothing. None. Just puny little children that I swear they're doing the least. Like, these guys, they're doing the least. They dress like crap. Their hair looks like, and they all think they need to have a mustache. No. It's not cute, and it's not a thing. So on Saturday night, my friend and I, we get all dressed up. We're looking super cute, and we're going to a nice dinner at Hall's. But before that, we had time to stop at Republic for a drink. So we walk in, it's packed, it's Halloween weekend. Most people are dressed up. We were not dressed up in Halloween costumes, obviously, but everyone else is dressed up. And it was a little bit of a younger crowd, I will say. However, we're standing there minding our own business, talking, and some guy approaches my friend. She starts talking to him casually. And as she's casually talking to him, another kid walks up, and I only caught the end of it. I'm glad I didn't see all of it because I wouldn't have handled it as well as she did. This kid walks up with his cell phone and sticks his fingers in her drink and has his cell phone with the light on, filming it, and then puts the phone in her face to like see what her reaction was going to be. I only saw the phone part and him like kind of stick it in her face, and she was just like staring at him like, what the And so she proceeds to put her drink on the ground, like next to her, because she's like, I don't want it. Well, I didn't see the fingers go in the drink. I would not have just let that happen. I probably either would have made him buy me another drink, or quite frankly, the drink would have went on him.
Yeah, that's
Again,
understandable.
ladies,
That was disrespectful.
if you know of where all the attractive men are, can you please let me know? Because we're doomed over here. We're doomed over here on the East Coast because we got nothing. So maybe I need to go over there by like Wyoming and get a cowboy or something. I don't know.
You see this? And this, how appealing does she look? Not really appealing at all. She's at least 45. Doesn't she look 45? You know, ask her or look at her birth certificate. She may be 33. That's how they build them nowadays. Look at her neck. Look at it. Look at her hair. It's an old neck. It's like Spider-Man. It's throwing a web on her neck, going from tree to tree. That's like trees on her neck. Look, going from one tree to the next tree branch. Like, where are the attractive men? Where are the attractive ladies?
Word.
This is an unpopular opinion, but I just have to get this off my chest. Nice guys
Tell
finish
'em.
last is a myth.
Tell
I'm
'em.
talking to grown adults here, okay? If you're not grown, keep scrolling. I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. In the long run, nice guys are the ones who know how to maintain long-term relationships. Why? They understand the value of compromised communication and commitment. First of all, not every woman goes for looks. There's a lot of women and women that are in happy relationships with guys who are 2 or 3 looks wise, but I promise you the personality is a freaking 10. And these guys treat these girls like they're queens, okay? They may be a 2 looks wise, 2, 3 looks wise, but their personality is a 10 because they understand that empathy, trust, and kindness are the foundation of their relationship. And again, this is why I said I'm talking to grown adults, because if you are a man and you are currently dating a woman who isn't emotionally healed, who has some emotional unavailability, she is not going to pick you. You will not finish last. Nice guys finish strong because they build a relationship on trust and respect. They don't play games. They don't manipulate. They are straightforward and genuine. And let me tell you something. A grown woman who has done the work to heal understands and knows the value of kindness.
Yeah. And she should say that to the last lady saying, where are the good looking men? I'm sure she's passed up a lot of nice guys. I'm sure the other black woman who said, where are the men? Why you leave me waiting out here so long? Passed up a lot. I'm sure the one with all the married friends passed up tons of nice guys. The 50-year-old lady, the old lady, the first lady, the first mistake, probably divorced one. Seriously. It's tragic out here.
I reached out to the universe. I told them what
Just
I
like to
wanted in
jump.
a man. And you know what? There's some sweet angels out there rooting for me, y'all. Listen to this.
Do the very best in finding whatever it is you're looking for. And,
He's at work.
and makes you happy.
Not now, Eddie Lopez.
Someone who's over, 5'8", and they got a good job, and
Eddie Lopez
and all that.
downstairs works and all that. You missed that part just in case. Eddie Lopez is about to get
I'm sure
blocked.
you'll be fine finding someone to fit all those categories. So,
Well, it's been 3 years and so far I ain't
best of
having
luck to you.
no luck, but thank you so much, Lil Robbie Lee. You are the sweetest angel, Lil Robbie Lee, and I hope you have a blessed day.
She's drunk. But you notice something that was happening. Her situationship was calling, and she said his name. Like, you have no hope because you're bragging about your situationship. But this is what we have nowadays. And she, wasted her time. And she's doing what? Struggling, looking for a man in her 30s. Because they thought being feminine was weakness. Now they're all begging for love. And guess what happened? For a lot of them, that ship is sailed because a lot of men have realized it's definitely more to life than dealing with women who don't really care about relationships, only the benefits from them, like her.